Hello and welcome to Insurance Fraud Files. Today's case involves a bright pink Hummer, a reported car theft, and a fire that was meant to erase all traces. What initially looked like a classic vehicle theft quickly turned into a textbook example of auto arson fraud. This is the pink Hummer case involving Kelly Flanagan. The story begins with a report that many insurers see every year. A vehicle disappears. The owner claims it was stolen. Hours later, the car is found completely burned out. No witnesses, no clear suspects, just a destroyed vehicle and a claim for total loss. At first glance, it fits a familiar narrative. Stolen cars are often torched to destroy evidence or used in other crimes before being abandoned. Fire, in this context, appears to be the final chapter of the theft. But experienced investigators know that vehicle fires rarely speak with one voice, and this one started to contradict itself almost immediately. The first inconsistency appeared in the location where the Hummer was found. The vehicle hadn't been dumped randomly. It was positioned in a way that suggested controlled access rather than hurried abandonment. There were no signs of forced entry consistent with a theft. Locks, ignition components, and steering mechanisms did not show the damage patterns typically associated with car theft. Then came the fire analysis. When a vehicle burns accidentally or as a result of post-theft vandalism, the fire usually starts in predictable zones, the engine compartment due to mechanical failure, or the interior due to ignition sources introduced after theft. In this case, burn patterns indicated something very different. The fire originated in multiple areas. Investigators identified signs of accelerants applied deliberately to ensure rapid ignition. The burn damage was intense, localized, and uneven, a signature of intentional fire setting rather than a spontaneous blaze. Certain components burned too quickly, others remained oddly intact. That imbalance matters. Auto arson is not just about fire, it's about timing. Investigators examined the timeline between the reported theft and the discovery of the burned vehicle. It was unusually short. Too short for the car to be stolen, driven elsewhere, used, abandoned, and then set on fire by unknown third parties. The sequence only made sense if the fire was planned, not incidental. Attention then shifted to the owner's statements. Kelly Flanagan's account of events changed subtly over time. Small details about where the vehicle was parked, when it was last seen, and how the theft occurred did not remain consistent. Individually, these discrepancies seemed minor. Together, they formed a pattern. Financial context added another layer. The Hummer was heavily insured. Market value and payout figures exceeded the realistic resale or repair value of the vehicle. Investigators also noted financial pressure that existed prior to the incident. As in many fraud cases, the fire did not occur in a vacuum. It occurred at a moment when the loss became economically convenient. According to reporting by Courier Mail, forensic evidence ultimately confirmed that the fire was deliberately set and that the theft claim was false. The vehicle had not been stolen. It had been destroyed intentionally to trigger an insurance payout. What makes this case particularly instructive is how many people assume that fire erases evidence. In reality, fire preserves patterns. Heat leaves signatures, accelerants leave residues, and human behavior leaves timelines that rarely align with fabricated stories. The pink Hummer case shows how vehicle arson fraud is exposed not by one dramatic discovery, but by the alignment of physical evidence, fire dynamics, and human behavior. Fire can destroy property, but it cannot destroy logic. At Insurance Fraud Files, we analyze cases like this to show how investigators read burned vehicles the same way detectives read crime scenes. Every scorch mark, every timeline gap, every inconsistency tells a story. If you are faced with a suspicious claim, incomprehensible losses, or a case that is not supported by facts, Insurance Fraud Files is the place where expertise meets reality. If you need a professional investigation, loss assessment, or expert support in a complex case. Do not rely on assumptions. Thank you for watching Insurance Fraud Files. See you in the next video.